The tube between worlds. A dream of identity amnesia, gentle creatures, and choosing love over enclosure. The dream? I'm resting, even sleeping, inside a kind of middle tube. It's surprisingly comfortable, like a place meant for pausing between destinations. I'm trying to remember where I work. Did I leave one former workplace to return to another older one? I feel fairly certain I didn't want to stay at the more recent job, but being back at the earlier one doesn't feel right either. It makes me wonder why I'd return to an old paradigm that no longer fits. Then something shifts in my awareness. I realize I'm actually at an eco-village in Mississippi, and I don't have a job at all. And I'm relieved. I don't want to be penned into employment. At the same time, I notice a flicker of uncertainty, a question about how life works economically now, how this new way of living sustains itself. Nearby is a tiny little girl, so small she's almost the size of a guinea pig. I'm cuddling her, and she loves the attention. She's joyful, innocent, and affectionate. At one point, she becomes sad and mentions something I did wrong, something like neglect. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I feel it. I apologize and tell her it won't happen again. She brightens immediately, happy once more. Later, I see a former boss figure from a past job. There's a sense she might be wondering when I'll stop playing and come to work. And that seems to blend with my confusion about which job I even have, or whether it's a workday at all. I start playing with other small creatures. There's a tiny monkey, no bigger than my hand, trying to grab a huge bunch of bananas as large as he is. I hang the bananas on my leg while lying on my side, and the little monkey climbs up me, scrambling playfully. We turn it into a game. I begin walking through the area, which now feels like a zoo or park. In one strange scene, almost like something out of science fiction, I see a large blob-like alien in an apartment. He gestures proudly toward a concrete fountain and says to a woman, "I got this for you, just like you asked. What's wrong? Don't you like it?" The woman stands with authorities and confronts him about another creature in the apartment, a massive black beast, horse-sized, with rough, asphalt-like skin and sharp protrusions. It looks powerful and dangerous. The alien seems caught, exposed. I'm unsure whether the woman was a captive, a purchased companion, or simply another exhibit in his collection. I wander on, unsure what I'm meant to be doing now that I'm not working. I pass buildings and exhibits, horses behind windows, playful children swinging or skateboarding, but I don't feel drawn to any of it. I'm carrying an empty gas can, knowing I'll need to fill it eventually, but reasoning it would be heavy to carry if I do it too soon. A man follows me at a distance. I sense he thinks I'm headed to a restaurant he wants to visit too, so he's casually tracking my path. Eventually, I enter a restaurant. Everyone inside is dressed in colonial-era clothing, like pilgrims or patriots. The name suggests something historic and patriotic. They're cooking a thick, hearty soup. As I prepare to leave, I realize there's no exit. I ask a waitress and she confirms it. There's no obvious way out. Then she mentions a hidden exit where you might get mildly electrocuted on the way through. I see someone escape, getting zapped but making it out just fine. It doesn't seem that bad. Still, I don't rush to leave. I'm doing something calmly in the middle of the dining room floor. Someone asks what I'm doing. I respond casually, "I'm not panicked, not in a hurry." The dream ends there. Vibration interpretation. This dream moves through layers of identity, freedom, innocence, containment, and conscious choice. The tube represents a liminal state, a pause between roles, paradigms, and definitions of self. It's not a trap, it's a resting place, a womb between identities. The confusion about work reflects identity amnesia, a common theme during major life transitions. Old roles resurface not because they're correct, but because the psyche is checking whether they still hold relevance. The relief of having no job signals alignment with authenticity, even as the mind wonders how this new life structure sustains itself. The tiny girl is a powerful symbol of innocent life force, creativity, tenderness, neglected joy, or even a soul memory of something precious that deserved more attention. The act of apologizing and reattuning restores harmony instantly, illustrating how quickly vibration rises when presence and love are restored. The small animals, playful, trusting, reinforce this theme. Joy, play, and care are not distractions from purpose. They are vibrational work. The zoo imagery introduces a contrast, containment, exhibition, ownership. The alien scene exposes distorted power, beings turned into objects, companions reduced to acquisitions. This mirrors subtle societal traps where systems masquerade as homes but restrict freedom. The colonial restaurant with no exit represents legacy systems, traditions, jobs, identities, or institutions that nourish on the surface but quietly trap participants. The electric exit suggests that leaving old paradigms may involve discomfort, but it's survivable. Notably, the dreamer does not flee. He is no longer ruled by fear. Raising vibration here means choosing conscious presence over reflexive escape, love over obligation, and play over containment. DJ Dreamy Spin. The emotional center of this dream for me is the little girl. Something about realizing I may have neglected her, and then being able to repair that instantly, felt deeply healing. It reminded me that raising vibration doesn't always come from grand missions. Sometimes it's simply giving attention, care, and love where it was once missing. There's also a strong theme of permission. Do I have the license to love, to play, to express myself, even when old work identities or expectations linger? This dream feels like reassurance that I do. The job confusion, the zoo, the restaurant trap, they all seem to ask the same question. What kind of world do I want to inhabit? And the answer seems quieter than I expected. One where joy is allowed, where care matters, where I don't rush to escape because I'm no longer imprisoned. Questions to raise your vibration. What part of your inner world might be asking for more attention, care, or play? And how could offering that raise your personal vibration right now? Where in your life are you still walking through old structures out of habit? And what would it feel like to pause instead of rushing to escape them?